Hey guys, it's Luke with the Idea Foundry again, back in the 3D printing lab talking about 3D printing calibration. This is really important because you need to make sure that your 3D printer is calibrated well when you get it, and you need to check it every once in a while and make sure it is still well, and if you need to recalibrate it to make sure it's finely tuned up, that's the only way to get the best possible prints that you can. So we're going to talk about a couple of ways that can fall out of alignment, something like, is your bed properly leveled? Is your Z height set correctly? This thing runs on a series of step motors, so are those in alignment so you're getting best possible prints? And a couple real easy tests you can do. There's tons of resources and articles online to find these types of tests so that you don't have to go out and make them or do anything like that. So a couple of tests. Big one that I always do is check my Z height. This is something I make sure every single time I print that my Z height is set correctly. If your Z height's not set correctly, if your extruder head is too close to the bed, you could scrape the bed and damage your print surface. If your extruder head's too far away, your prints can peel off as they are printing because you don't have great first layer print adhesion. The way I check this on the TAS, on this TAS 5 that we have, is a little print test. This does a manual Z height adjustment, so I need to do it manually. There are other 3D printers, like we have an Ultimaker 2 Go, that is auto adjust, so I would actually go into the software and be able to tweak my offset there. But for this test, I just stick this right underneath the extruder head, and I just make the extruder head is just snagging that paper just slightly, so it's right at that exact height to give enough squish to that first layer that it prints really well. Next test that goes along with that, that I do less frequently, is a bed leveling square test. That's basically a large square that prints, just a couple of layers right on top, all the way around, and then basically I can check with calipers and see the size, see if I have different dimensions there, and therefore might have my bed be angled slightly one way or another, not perfectly level. Another test that's really great to check the stepper motors themselves, make sure they're in alignment, is something like this XYZ calibration cube. You don't have to do XYZ calibration cube. There's tons of different options you can do, like dice, Jenga pieces, something where you know the exact size. So this is a 20mm cube. I can run this print and then grab some calipers and just measure. Make sure 20.18. Over here, I am 20.16. So I can check, make sure this cube all the way around is the size that it's supposed to be or really close to it. Other tests, torture test. The most common torture test you'll hear about is benchy. It's this tiny little sailboat that you can print, or like motorboat that you can print, and it's just checking things like under extrusion, over extrusion, and how your quality of print comes off. It's really good, or does it have little bubbles or stringiness to it, something like that. The last test is an overhang test. This is less about calibrating your 3D printer properly and knowing how far you can kind of push the boundaries. When we talk about overhang, talking about something like this deer. When I print right here in the stomach, or maybe somewhere on these antlers, 3D printers can't just print in mid-air, so they need support material. So overhang test, like you see right here, this tests at what angle do I need to add support material so that I don't have this 3D printing material to sort of fall off. I tested this on this TAS, and what I learned is that right around 60 degrees do I start to lose a little bit of quality in that print. So I know that I need to add support material for every angle on a print that I have that is over 60 degrees. I don't need to add any more for anything lower because it's a really good quality print, and so I can check these types of things and figure that all out. So those are just a couple of tests. There's tons of resources that I put in the article for you guys to go check out, and definitely make sure your 3D printers are calibrated great. So have a great day, guys. See ya.